Yo, what's up, TGM? And welcome back to another Nihongo video. So, in today's video, we're finally on lesson 4. So, I'm gonna do a quick review on lesson 3. So, if you can, go ahead and grab your Genki book. And if you don't have a Genki book, make sure you just follow along to my instruction. I'm gonna be showing you guys depictions. So, around 87 and so on, we went over particles and word order yesterday, some more frequency adverbs like yoku, tokidoki, etc. So we have particles o, de, ni, and et. Ni, ni being a goal of movement or the time. Now de being a place of action, o being the direct object, and et being the goal of movement. Now don't get ni confused with f, because ni can also be used for time. These flies. Ni can also be used for time, while f cannot. Ni cannot be replaced with f for time references. So now we're going over to lesson 4. So in lesson 4, we're going to be getting introduced to something new, of course. So the first date. 初めてのデート. First date. So I'm going to be reading the story as always, then I'm going to be reading the translation for the story. So the first story, Mary goes downtown. This is Mary speaking. すみません。メクダナルドはどこですか? So 知らない人 unknown person. あそこにホテルがありますね. And then he also says メクダナルドはあのホテルの前ですよ. And she says ありがとうございます. So for the first story, it reads as follows for the English translation. Mary, excuse me, where's McDonald's? Stranger, there is a hotel over there. McDonald's is in front of the hotel. Mary, thank you very much. So for the second story, in the evening at Mary's host family's house, Mary, ただいまお父さん which is older brother. Excuse me. 帰りなさい。映画どうでしたか? ねえ、Mary says 見ませんでした。高橋さんは来ませんでした。お父さん says どうしてですか? Mary says わかりません。だから一人で本屋と寺に行きました。お父さん says 人がたくさんいましたか? Now Mary says はい、お寺で写真をたくさん撮りました。公園にも行きました。お父さん says そうですか. So, number 2 reads as follows for the English translation. I'm home, host father. Welcome home. How was the movie? I didn't see it. Takashi didn't come. Oh, why? I don't know. So I went to a bookstore in a temple alone. Host father. Were there a lot of people? Mary says, yes. I took many pictures at this temple. I also went to a park. Host father. I see. And sorry guys for the bad Japanese. I'm reading so slow and sloppy. It's been a while since I've actually studied these type of vocabulary words for lesson 4. And this is it right here. You guys can see that. That's the story 1 and 2. And I'm going to get into 3 over here. There goes the English translation for 1, 2, and 3. So let's go ahead and get into the third and final story. So it reads as follows. Takashi calls Mary at night. So this is Takashi talking. Moshi moshi, Mary-san. And Mary says, Takashi-san, 今日来ませんでした。今日来ませんでしたね。行きましたよ。Monster Burger. I just read the English translation. モスとバーガーの前で1時間待ちました。マツダバーガーじゃないですよ。メクドナルドですよ。メクドナルド、ごめんなさい。So it reads as follows. Hello, Mary. Mary says, "Oh, Takashi, you didn't come today, did you?" Takashi says, "I went there. I waited for 1 hour in front of Moss Burger place." And Mary said, "Not Moss Burger, McDonald's." And Takashi said, "McDonald's. I'm sorry." So now we have the words from the vocabulary of the story I just read, and I'm gonna go over them with you guys. So for game, part-time job, and it's more for the more colloquial version, which you would use in a more formal situation. In a more informal situation with your friends and family. For a more formal situation, you will use arubaito. Baito and arubaito mean the same thing. They still mean part-time job, but one is more formal. More formal is arubaito. Informal is baito. So shopping, kaimono, mono meaning thing, and kai is like kind of the root word for like to buy things. Class, kurasu, dog, inu, cat, neko, person, hito, child, kodemo, you, anata, or it could be kimi. Chair, isu, desk, sukue, picture or photograph, shashin, flower, hana. Term or paper, repoto, rice or meal, gohan, bread, pan. Places. So this is some places we saw in the story also. For temple, otera, park, koen, supermarket, super, bus stop, busutei, hospital, byoin, byoin. Forgive me, my bad guys. Bookstore, honya, town or city, machi, restaurant, restaurant. For time, which are days of place like yesterday, today, etc. Yesterday, kino, hours, jikan dayo, it's time. But you would add 1 hour, ichijikan, nijikan, sanjikan. 1 hour is ichijikan, just like I said last week. Sanshi, when or at the time of, is toki. Monday, getsuyobi. Tuesday, kaiyobi. Wednesday, suyobi. Thursday, mokuyobi. Friday, kinyobi. They don't have Saturday or Sunday up here, so I'm just gonna go and tell you guys. Doyobi is doyobi, and it's doyobi, and Sunday is nichiyobi. To meet or to see a person, you would use, this is a u verb, so it will also be conjugated just like the u verbs. Aru is to meet or to see a person. Aru means there is, place, or thing. Aru is for things that aren't alive. Iru can be used for things that are alive. I get into that later, probably like way later. So, and to buy things are karu. Remember, these are all u verbs that I'm naming out. They all have the n word of u. Excuse me. So, and even though I just said aru, remember, it sounds like that because it's the suffix. Now, the actual word is an actual u verb. It's just like kaeru. That's just the base. That's how it sounds. So, kaku means to write. To take a picture is toru. It will be conjugated and be put in with shashin, because shashin means picture or photograph. So, to wait is masu, like mate means to wait in general, but that's the 10th form of masu, so I'm not gonna get all into that. So, to understand is wakaru. That's the root word. You know how people say wakaranai or wakarimashita. So, and the root verb is iru. It says a person is in, stays at, place, ni. If you're using it for place, you use the particle ni. For a person, you use the particle ga. And I'm gonna show you guys that side. Let me see, I'll show you guys the right side. Yep, right there. So I'm gonna be getting into adverbs and other expressions that they're talking about. So it says about an approximate measurement. Gurai. I'm sorry, gomenasai. Or that's the very formal version. If you just want to say sorry in general, it could be gomen. It's still a little formal, but it's more informal than formal. So, and then sorekara, which is kind of a sentence extender. When you're talking, you would say da 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 sorekara, or you can also use a dakara. So therefore dakara, just meaning a lot. Takusan, together with a person. To, and so to, when you use to, it's like let's say a noun. Let's use flower, right? Because a flower is a thing. So if I wanted to say a flower and dark, and I would use to in the middle, I would say hana to kage. flower and darkness. So now we have why, doste. So I'm not gonna get into other versions of why because there are many other ways to say why. Another way is naze, but I'm not gonna get into that right now. Alone is hitori, hello, used on a phone, not in actual conversation. Moshi moshi. So to the next page we go. Now we have location words. So I want you guys to listen. To the right is miji. To the left is hidari. To the front is mae. To the back is ushiro. Inside, naka. On, ue. Under, shita. Near or nearby is chikaku. Next, tonari. Between, aida. So we have an example right here. We have a flower pot on top of a table. Sukue no ue. So what it's saying is the flower pot is on top of the desk. So whenever you use these location words, you will want to use the particle no. But you want to use the location words before. You want to use the location words, well, not before, but after you use the particle. So it would be no and then the location word. Like so, sukue, it means desk. Then you use no, mae, desk up. So we point at the flower. The desk is on top of the flower. With the flower vase is on top of the desk. Right here, you guys can see that. So sukue no chikaku. The chair is next to the table. Kaban no naka. The book is inside the bag. Sukue no shita. The bag is under the desk. So, and then we have a person out of the car, waving their hand like this. So which direction for them to go in? So we have hidari to miji, Yokohama, and Dokyo. So either he goes right or left. Now we have these people right here. So I'm gonna read this out to you guys. So Yamada-san no, these are names. Don't get them mixed up for any word. Yamada-san no tonari. So this means next to a person. Yamada-san no ushiro, the guys at the back. Yamada-san to-san no aida. He's in between To-san and Yamada-san. So, and this girl is at the front. Yamada-san no mae. Now for the grammar. So we have ga amari. Excuse me. So we have x, ga, which is a particle, and then we have arimasu and imasu. So these are grammar points, and we're going to be putting them at the end. Arimasu means basically for inanimate things like a building, and imasu basically means like you're describing living things. So, but I will get into this another lesson because this is kind of confusing because it's kind of a root word. No, actually, I'm pretty sure I can go over this pretty fast with you guys. So, x, arimasu, and imasu, you can use the verbs arimasu for non-living things, like I told you guys, and imasu for people and other living, moving things. When you want to say there is or x, asoko ni McDonald's ga arimasu. There's a McDonald's over there. So we use arimasu because McDonald's is not a real, like it's not a living thing, it's a building, right? The thing that you are presenting is accompanied by the particle ga. Unlike the verbs we have seen so far, which are called for wa, the place where the thing is accompanied by the particle ni, unlike the other verbs which call for de. You usually describe the place first, then the thing, as in the example above. You can also use arimasu to say that you have or own something. An example is right here. Terebi ga arimasen. I don't have a TV. And the TV is inanimate. So, do you have time? Jikan ga arimasu ka? So, jikan ga arimasu ka? Basically, do you have the time? The ka particle, question particle. So, we also use arimasu when we want to say that an event will take place. So there will be an exam on Tuesday. So we have kayobi ni tesuto ga arimasu. So said there will be an exam on Tuesday. There will be no Japanese class tomorrow. 明日は日本語のクラスがありません. Negative. No class no Japanese class tomorrow. And we have notes down here. I'm not gonna be reading those notes, but if you guys have your Japanese notes, you can read it. You can pause the video. You guys can't see it. I'm sorry if you guys can't see it as clearly. So, and then we have over here, when you want to say that there's a person or other living, moving thing, you need to use the verb imasu. Thus, we have an example right here. I'm gonna go ahead and read the English version for you guys. There's an international student over there. So we would say, あそこに留学生がいます. Almost said あります, and that would have been wrong because the student, the person is real. I'm gonna read that a little slowly for you guys. あそこに留学生がいます. So you can also use います to say that you have friends, sibling, and so forth, right? So I have a Japanese friend. 日本人の友達がいます. So the place, a place, ni is a goal of movement, a location word, a location particle, I meant. For a thing, ga arimasu. For a person, ga imasu. There is or are. So I'm just going to show you guys that right there. As you can see, describing where things are. So I'm going to get into this tomorrow for you guys, because now when we get into that, I'm going to be teaching you guys past tense. So, and past tense isn't so hard, but you're going to be basically describing like was, oh, I was there, basically. So, and then we're going to, that isn't it for lesson 4. We have some more examples of lesson 4, basically describing kind of describing where things are. And I am gonna leave, if you guys actually watch through this whole video, I am gonna leave a description, I am gonna leave a description in my video where you can actually test yourself, test your knowledge, test your Japanese knowledge from the book of itself. The book does have an app itself. So, and then we have this, the pair work, and I don't have a partner for this. And then we have practice for the past tense. 食べる、食べました、食べる、食べませんでした. Yeah, we have that. So I'm going to be getting into all of this tomorrow to really show you guys to get into like was, because I wouldn't say it's too difficult, but after that it's lesson 5 and you guys are getting mighty close to where I'm currently on, which is lesson 7, and I can't wait to go you guys with lesson 7 because we have the ultimate test form. I don't know if test form will put anybody else at a brick wall, but it surely put me at a brick wall. I'm going to go and close my Japanese book. Thank you guys for tuning in with me. JV. So, test form surely put me at a brick wall, but I got over it. I'm not going to talk about test form right now, but test form is, I'm going to go and tell you guys the definition of test form. Test form is to basically, to exactly describe what you're doing. If you want to say, oh, wait, to like exactly just wait with a period. So basically, oh, like, wait a minute. Wait, you know how you watch an anime and you hear the difference of toto mate, wait a little, mate. That's the conjugation te form of masu, to wait. That's the dictionary form. So enough of that, because maimasen maimasu is also, I'm just stop. That's also the conjugated form. No, that's the normal conjugated form because it's an verb. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching so much. And this is JV, your host JV, signing off. And I think I need, let me try to get a thumbnail. Let's see here. Peace.